Folks, I'm trying to figure out if this music is too loud. I'm actively attempting to listen to my own stream to figure it out before I get on. I just turned down the music like a whole bunch though. Alright, looks like I turned up just a little bit. What is up, folks? If you're in the chat, say hello. But also tell me if the music's too loud, because being honest, there's way too much of a delay for me to tell. Or if you're at this point, you're like, I don't even hear any music. Well, then I also messed up somewhere. Guess we'll get rid of that guy. I'll just pull up ye old code. Let's do like a little split screen. Can do that. Awesome. Hey Karma. Hey Corinne. What are how these volumes are they insane? Like let me know if we are at apocalyptically loud levels. All right, I'll turn her up just a little bit. I want it like a soothing level, you know, like not too crazy. Maybe I turned it down too many. Let's try that. Just, I don't know. On my end, it sounded really loud at first, so. All right, so you guys saw the title. We're going to work on a few COLORNOVA updates today. So I know I originally said this was going to be a stream that's like, oh, we're, you know, doing power-ups, but as you see, there's actually a much bigger to-do list going on. Hold on, let me let some friends know I'm streaming. Some game dev right now if anyone wants to drop in. Yeah, okay, so let's see. One makes you small. So I want a power up that kind of shrinks down the player, basically. And another one that makes you a little bigger, kind of inspired by the Binding of Isaac a little bit. We want to support multiple monitors. So right now, like, you have to kind of drag over which monitor you're using, which I noticed when I set up my monitors. And then I kind of want to update the soft locks with real numbers. I haven't put out a demo update since, like, it's been a few weeks. And while it's not, like, super important because the full game is out, you know, still want to kind of check up on that. And then our pop-up selection is a little off. And then I guess the big one is going to be beginner game mode. So yeah, that is what we're attempting to fix today. Let me see if I can, I should be able to pull up the chat on a tab. And then from there, you guys can see when your comments come through on my end, because it might be a hell of a delay. Let me pop out the chat. Yeah, there you go. So now you guys can see basically what I can see. All right, so what makes you small? What makes you small? Let's go to the main game file. So the whole thing with like a one makes you small is that, well, one, it has to be like a physics thing, not only just like a sprite thing. Like we can't just update the sprite itself. Or actually, yeah, no, we can start with this. So I designed PowerUps actually pretty poorly. And as such, I need to make sure that I'm doing things correctly. So I should be able to just copy and paste one of these and do basically the same thing and just change some stuff out. So instead of small bullet, we'll call this one one makes you small. We'll consider it a power down, duration of 10, color doesn't matter. Call the category player size. So what category does is, like, for example, so like how I have a one makes you small and a one makes you big. Basically what we're going to do is, if you have the same category, it cancels one out. So like if you get one makes you small, then you get one makes you big, theoretically they should cancel out. And we shouldn't have to like worry about it. It is not demo allowed. And we'll keep the icon where it is until we find an icon. So then we're probably just gonna let's just do like a shrunk. And then from here, we're going to pretend like there's a function, probably called like, let's do shrink player. And then we're going to pass it a player. Shrink player isn't a real function yet, but it will be. And then we can get rid of that because that doesn't do anything for you. We can get rid of that. And then if it hasn't been replaced, then we'll do like a regular size. And this is the alerts that you see when you make stuff. One makes you small, power down, player size. Okay. So let's make this shrink player function. I don't even know where to pop it. Let's do it somewhere near the reset player because we're going to need some of those functions. Yeah, so let's just do it right here where we're doing a bunch of stuff. We're going to do a function, shrink player, and it takes in a player. And basically the most important thing is actually that we just like resize everything. So there should be some stuff about like player.collider somewhere. Yeah, so we're gonna steal this and delete the old collider. Oh, right, but we need the hitbox scale. Okay, so we're gonna do way more than that. We're actually going to, instead of just doing a hitbox scale as a local variable, we're gonna do player.hitbox scale is equal to hitbox scale. And that's going to allow us to actually adjust the player appropriately when you get the power up. Player.hitbox scale is equal to hitbox scale. Yeah, that's just so we can have this later, so we know what it previously was and what we can adjust stuff back to. And then the ship size, which the ship size is pretty much always that. And I don't know how much smaller I want to make it, honestly, now I think about it. Maybe we'll try like 30-40%. But we are going to have to destroy the collider. And then we also need the remaking the collider code. So I'm actually going to take like all of that. Shrink player. Cool. So we're going to destroy the old collider. We don't care about the kills. We don't care about the hard mode stuff. But we are going to recreate the player based on it is X and Y, which is totally fine. We saw that radius was equal to, what was it, player.size times player.hitbox scale, something like that. Local radius is equal to ship size. Yeah, which is fine. Shrink player. Shrink player. If player.collider, then player.collider destroy. I just stole like a, right, because we don't have this size. So we know that as the default size of a ship. And then I guess we'll make it 40% smaller. And in this case, 40% smaller means that it is 60% of that size. So then when we do that, this should recreate it. And now I do think there's a player.size, right? Yeah, there's a player.size. Okay. So we'll take that a step further. Shrink player. Player.size is equal to, let's do screen width over 15 times. We're just gonna clean this up. We're gonna set player.size. It's equal to that, and then what we'll do is we'll do player.size times the hitbox scale, which we should have already saved. And I already see that I somehow broke something somewhere because it didn't format itself. So we'll see that in a second. But that should be the basic to a shrink player. Now let's go look at all the things that I messed up. Shrink player, function player, that's all good. If not, replace, blah, blah, blah. And then we need to restore the player at some point, but we're not even going to worry about that. Let's try to run the game and see where it breaks. Oop, something near small bullet. I know you guys can't see the error yet, but I'll show you when it's running. Probably needed a comma. That's all I need. Game's probably gonna be really loud. My bad, guys. I will fix it in a second, though. Okay. All right. So I already know there's gonna be an issue because I didn't set the icon below. So, you know, I actually have some code in here to make sure that I have all of the like icons I'm supposed to have. So we're actually going to change this out. One makes you small. And then after we do one makes you small, we have to go to the pickup icons. And then we could do something like pickups dot one makes you small dot icon is equal to pickup icons. At least I think that should fix it. Yeah, it did fix it. Awesome. But that still doesn't actually allow us to spawn the pickup. So now we have to go here and do something like, I got these little kind of, I guess, hacks that I got going on that allows me to spawn things. So I'm going to spawn one, call it one makes you small. And then I also have to turn on debug mode. How's everyone doing today? Debug. Okay, so we got to turn on the short key debug. And honestly, I should have did the monitor thing so that it always pops up first. Let's see if we can get this going a little bit. Hopefully the game doesn't just immediately crash. Oop, and it immediately crashed. Attempt to perform arithmetic on hitbox scale. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so let's see where we messed up. Hitbox scale. Did I spell it wrong? Shrink player. Now it seems to be spelled correctly. Let's make sure we have that going on. And then let's put some parentheses around that. Let's try again. Oh, it did shrink. Look at how baby it looks. Oh, something is wrong. Why the heck is it popping off so fast? I must have broke something. Oh, I forgot. I forgot that the little hack thing I did speeds up the game like a lot. It's crazy. I was like, what is happening? Sorry, I completely forgot what I was doing for a second. All right, so we did shrink the player. That happened. Let's make another function to restore the player, though. Restore player size. And we'll call it do player. That's basically going to be the same function, except instead we're going to put the size back. And then we're going to, yeah, we're just gonna adjust it again, basically. So wherever the shrink is, we're gonna set that back and remove. And really restore the player. Okay. So let's try that out. Actually, you know what would help? I literally have a physics debug mode. It would totally make sense to just turn on the physics debug mode. Okay, now we'll look. Definitely shrunk a whole bunch. All right, then let's hope it restores itself at some point. Ooh, regular size again. Awesome. I am curious if that hitbox scale is actually working, though. Let's select a different ship and see how well that works. Oh. Yeah, okay. I totally forgot that, like, I deleted a save file or something, so now nothing's unlocked. Oh, baby it is. All right. So that was fairly easy, adding that guy. Now we need to do the same thing, but it needs to be one makes you big. What do you guys think about that that shrink size? Like, is it too small? Is it? I mean, I think it's plenty small. I wouldn't say that it needs to go smaller, but like, should it be bigger? I guess. What makes you big? Player size, optimal allowed. What makes you big? That's totally fine. And we'll just go growth. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Oh wait, no, it's only if it's not replaced as irregular. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Set a shrink player. We'll go grow player. And then we'll find where that shrink player function is. And basically just do the opposite. I think they look pretty cute when they kind of shrink down. I don't think Grow Player is going to look nearly as cute realistically. All right, so let's go 30% bigger instead. Yeah, just Grow Player. Crazy enough, that pretty much takes care of both one makes you small, one makes you big, other than the graphics, but we are going to add the graphics too. Let's see, what was I going? What was I doing? Oh, right. Gotta do the pickup icons. I developed this awful system for pickup icons, so I have to define them in like 3 places. And if I'm being honest, I'm just way too lazy to fix that. So I won't. What makes you is big or bigger? Big. What? Jeez. Oh, right. I had the exact spelling on it. I was like, what's happening? Why can't I search for anything? One makes you small. All right. So now we just need to spawn one makes you big. And I'm actually going to do one better. And we're going to spawn both just to see what happens. Makes you small. And we're going to put it like on the other side of the screen, basically. Or what? No. There we go. All right, let's test these bad boys out. I know we haven't done the icons yet, so it is not going to be differentiable. So big. Oh, shrunk. All right. Does kind of feel like the hitbox is struggling a little bit to keep up. But it might always be doing that. I can't tell. Yeah. Looks like it's doing exactly what it needs to do. Oh, broke something. Oh, yeah. All right, that's fine. That's a whole different bug. That has to do with the beginner game mode. All right. Not gonna lie, those first two were actually much faster than I would have thought to fix. Although I probably need to. No, I forgot that every game mode we destroy all the colliders. I actually don't think I need to do anything about it, but let's test it real quick. We're gonna force myself to die with the with one of the grower shrinks on and see what happens. Oh, right. I forgot I still have that issue. That's main game 209. What even is that? 209, 209. That's because I just like did not finish writing out the code here. Didn't even kind of finish writing out this code. Okay, we can fix this really quick. So basically what I'm trying to do here is specify what the game mode is. So what this is supposed to say is, instead of or just difficulty, because difficulty isn't a function, it's supposed to say casual and casual. Then we'll wrap that up. We'll wrap this up. And then we'll say for beginner. This is me partially working on that new game mode and forgetting to fix things. Theoretically, it shouldn't crash anymore. Hopefully. We'll see. And then theoretically, if I click play again, I should be regular sized again. And I should be able to shrink myself. Or grow myself. Yeah, it works exactly the way I wanted it to. Sorry, I'm just telling more people that I'm streaming. Might have to send a little tweet skis too. And then we'll go in blue sky as well. Dude. Streaming some hashtag game dev. All right, back to business. So I mean that was part of it, but now we have to actually find some icons that actually make sense. So I normally use the noun project to find all my icons, and honestly, a lot of times I'll just do like grow. And all of these icons. Well, I'm not mad at that one. Let's see what they got for shrink. Problem is that I don't want to confuse people because I already have the small bullet icon, which, like, you know, it shrinks down, or rather it's like kind of one of these arrows. I probably should have made shrink bullet the opposite of, like, no, I think both shrink bullet and big bullet kind of do one of those, but I think double bullet actually kind of looks like a growing bullet. It is what it is, I guess. I just don't know. What's a good way to indicate shrinking? I'm trying not to have my icons be like too similar, if that makes sense. Oh, maybe like a shrimp. Got a shrimp. Maybe like shrimp versus elephant or something. Now that I come up with these, I'm like, maybe my buddy's right, and I should have a little bit of a Pokédex of sorts for these power-ups, because, you know, what the hell does shrimp mean? Is this a shrimp from before? Looks real funky. I don't think I already have an elephant. But yeah, I'm thinking we go elephant and shrimp. All right, I'm gonna download these and get them in the game real quick. This is always subject to change, by the way. Like, you know, sometimes I do these and I'm like, oh wait, no, this was the worst idea ever. This looks really dumb. Elephant, and then let's save the shrimp icon. Okay, so they are where they're supposed to be. So now I should be able to just go to the pickup icons area. Oh, I guess I should change this first, right? Because I think we have it set to small bullet for both of these. Yeah, let's set that to 1 makes you small and 1 makes you big. And then from there, we can go to, we gotta go up here. We gotta set some icons. So we'll do something like pickup underscore icons dot 1 makes you small. Let's equal to love dot graphics dot new image. Images slash pickup slash elephant. What? Wait, no. Slash shrimp dot png. And then we're gonna do the same thing. One makes you big. Then we'll do elephant. And then I think that is actually it. That'd be nice, right? If it was just literally that simple. I mean, obviously I got to do like way more testing, but I just mean, like, you know, it's nice when things are simple sometimes. That was in fact an elephant. And then, yeah, there we go. Shrimp, right? Elephant. Although I feel like low key it didn't actually grow. Did that grow? Back to growth. Yeah, I guess they are significantly bigger. It's kind of, it is a little hard to tell sometimes. I should. I guess I theoretically should do. Well, I don't have any ships unlocked. So I guess I should move to a save file that does have ships unlocked. Yeah, I'll do that real quick. I want to see what happens when we do that with like a ship like Dash. Like, does it basically just go into the ether? Just gonna swap out this save file real quick. If I could ever find what I'm looking for. Okay. I think that probably fixed it. Sorry, it's gonna be really loud for a second. Forgot that doing that would wipe out my settings as well. Yeah, there we go. Look how small the little guy is already. Okay, what happens if I... Oh, its hitbox did not change. Okay, so one thing we do know for sure is that the hitbox scale thing is not working. Which makes sense. I do think we knew that. Because it wasn't passing correctly, right? Yeah. Oh. See the issue immediately. Shout out to me not spelling things correctly. Or at least casing correctly. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you program, things are... Like you have to be very specific in what you write. Because like hitbox scale with that lowercase s was not the same thing as hitbox scale with the uppercase. And as such, these were... Oh my god, it's so small. Wow, I can't even tell if that growth was... Like, honestly, I needed to go back to side. Like, okay. Could I even tell? Oh, it did get bigger, but it's like, this is such a small ship that it's like regular size now. When it shrinks, it's so obvious though. I'm curious if I should make that growth maybe like a 40%. Just like the shrink is a 40%, because it feels so drastically smaller. But I don't know if it feels drastically bigger. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change that grow player to be a 40% increase. Definitely bigger, definitely smaller. I know it's 40% bigger. That doesn't feel nearly as drastic. Like I can see it growing and shrinking, but that doesn't feel real. Let's try some other ships just to make sure everything is working the way we think. Let's do pulse. By the way, guys, those like white outlines you see are basically the... That's the hitbox. Okay, definitely got bigger the way I wanted to. Definitely got smaller the way I wanted to. Okay. Can't be mad at it. I'm going to call those completed. I think those are done. Which is nice. I was hoping to cross some stuff off of this list. How do I strike through that? Strike through. Then we're going to strike through this bad boy too. And then let's do the support for multiple monitors thing. Low-key, we need that. When I was making the game, I kind of forgot that you're able to specify which monitor. I developed a lot of this game without my office being properly set up, and as such, I had no clue. Well, not that I didn't have any clue, but rather I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that I might need to specify which monitor the game starts at, because that's probably annoying for a lot of folks. There's probably some people who's like, oh, I want to start this on monitor 1 always, and instead of starting on monitor 3 or something. But there is a way to do that. And I've actually already started a little bit by just checking your display count. If display count is greater than 1, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically add a chosen display setting. And it's going to be video settings dot chosen display. Or 1. And basically what we're going to do is if the display count is more than 1, then we're going to check if chosen display is not equal to 1. Or actually we're going to do if chosen display is less than display count, or is greater than display count. Then we're going to do flags dot display is equal to 1, because that means that the monitor doesn't exist, and that's fine. And if it's not, then we're going to do flags dot display is equal to chosen display. And if it's not, then flags dot display is just equal to 1. Is that all the scenarios? So if we get a count of more than 1, then we have a chosen display, then we can set it to 1, right? Because that means, let's say we have our chosen display to 3, but we only detect 2 monitors, it'll set it back to 1. Else, if the display, if everything's good, then we're going to choose a chosen display, yes. And then if the display count is not greater than 1, then we're just going to go with 1. Cool. That works. And then what we need to do actually is make this setting real. Yeah, we got to make this setting real. So video settings is equal to, so if it's equal to 0, blah, 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 we're going to set that to 1. But then we're also going to do an extra check because we just add a new setting. So we're going to do if video settings dot chosen display is 0, then we're gonna add it. We're gonna do video, if I can spell video correctly, dot chosen display is equal to 1. And then we're gonna save data dot save chosen display. Wait, what am I doing? No. Save it. It's literally just this line. Oh, I don't need to process thoughts with this. Yeah, cool. So now it should default to 1, which is fine. We want it to default to 1, but then we can check the save file and make sure that it's actually doing its job. Okay, so we know the game ran, which is fine, but now we're going to check the save file to see if it is all good. If it is working the way we think it should. Chosen display. Am I in the right save file? Apparently I have a trillion of these open. Chosen. No? Oh. I'm an idiot. I forgot that it is there. I forgot that the video settings file is different than the save data file, so that I'm not accidentally messing up your resolutions across various devices. But yeah, this chosen display is equal to 1. All right, so we know that works, which is great. The next thing we need to do is actually go into the options and make this a real setting. So it's probably going to be in, let's see, events, graphics, gameplay, video. I was losing my mind. Okay, so we have cycle full screen type. So I guess it has to be a cycle. Do we want to put it at the top? We'll put it at the top. And we'll call it display monitor. Chosen display is equal to source dot chosen display. This is just so that we can copy the video settings. Like, this doesn't actually take effect until you press apply, basically. That's the only reason that we really need to do that. Get display mode label, all that's working. Copy the video settings, video.load. We definitely need to change that though. Basically, this is only set up to cycle through. Yeah, this is only set up to cycle through full screen modes, which is fine. But I basically need to do some get display count stuff. And bring that back to the options. By the way, folks, if you haven't already bought COLORNOVA on Steam, it is still on sale. It'll only be on sale for the next 2 days as a part of launch week. The links are in the description. Go check it out as I figure out how to make these windows work. Okay, so if the type is equal to cycle, which is fine, we'll keep all of that, except what we need to do here is we need to do if item dot, it's probably key. Is it key? Yeah. Oop. Let's change that key into. We'll change that to chosen window. Yeah. That'll fix that part. And then we'll go back here. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, if item key equals full screen type, then we're going to carry on with exactly what we're doing. And yeah. And then what we're going to do otherwise is we're going to have an else here. And we don't really have to specify what exactly, but what we'll do is working dot chosen window is equal to working dot chosen window plus 1 if, and then we need that. We need a display count. And if working dot chosen window is less than 1, then and working dot chosen window is equal to display count. If working.chosen window is greater than display count, then we're going to set it back to 1. And that should be the cycle, at least. Let's run that and see what happens. We didn't rig it to work yet, but should at least... Forgot about the draw part. Is definitely drawing something crazy. Yeah, because it's on the cycle. There we go. Let's do this. If item.key equal full screen type, then we draw this. Else what we're gonna do is just we're just gonna draw the number. I'm gonna translate anything. Dot chosen display. Oh, broke something. Attempt to perform arithmetic on chosen window, a nil value. Okay. That's fair. Did I do chosen display? Chosen display. I did do chosen display. Oops. Chosen display. I do think that fixes a bunch of this. Wait. All right. That is not... I do not have 8 displays. Okay, let's see what... Working that chosen display is a chosen display. Oh! Plus direction. Plus direction. But I also don't know why I didn't stop anyways, because I have that going. Unless the working stuff isn't working. Working equals copy that, blah, 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 resolutions. Does a copy video settings happen? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that should be working. I don't know what's happening there. All right, let's see if that still behaves weird. Because it really... Okay, so the subtraction works great. It's the addition that's broken. Why did I break the addition? Chosen display. If working not chosen display is less than 1, then it's equal to display count. Okay, and if it's working display is greater than display count, then working not display. Oh, that's why. Working not display count. No, working not chosen display. Okay. So let's try that. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Now we need to make sure that the apply actually works. So that's the apply settings, which is just the set window spec. So I guess that's really on here for the set window specs. Set window specs. I actually think, I actually think this works. Okay, so let's try this. So I'm on my other screen now, and then theoretically I'm gonna choose a different screen to apply this to. Apply it to screen 2. Okay, and then it went to my second monitor. Okay, and then when I do this, it should go to my, boom. It works. It is on my third monitor. And as such, although it hasn't redone the math on what resolutions you can have, so I guess I should change that. But let's just try. Let's run it. So the game ran. Oh, and look, it popped up right on the third monitor, just like I told it to, which is dope. Which means that is fixed. But like I said, I can change the resolution now, but I'm going to change it back to 1. I'm going to apply, and then I'm going to quit the game and start it again. And then when I start it again, basically what I'm looking for is that, well, actually, I messed up this test already. We're going to start a resolution low, and then we're going to restart the game again. I'm going to switch to one of the other monitors, and theoretically, what I want to happen is that it's going to allow me to mess with the resolution more. So like here, yeah, I don't know. Well, when I go to my second monitor, okay, all right. So I managed to do it. So my second monitor is gigantic and has a huge resolution. Hopefully in that like 30 seconds I accidentally did that, I didn't accidentally dox myself. But basically what I want to do is when I go to my third monitor, I want it to be able to adjust resolutions with me. So that has to do with there's some code that checks your resolution. So it has to do with the get valid resolution code. Which what I'm going to do is sorry, I don't know much about this love window to get dimensions. I don't know if I could specify which window I want to get the dimensions for, because that is actually the issue here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll add that as a little to do. I feel like that's really not that pressing. To do, look into the resolution of specific window before you set window. Yeah, I don't know. It only has to make sense to me, right? It only ever has to make sense to me. We are knocking stuff out, though. Okay. So the update soft locks with real numbers. Basically, what I'm attempting there is that And I can show you guys if you don't know. But when you first start the game, let's try that. Let's see. Oh, sorry. It's obnoxiously loud again. Once again, my bad. I forget that the game starts loud, and that's fine, but that means that you guys can't hear me at all. Anyways, what I was trying to say was that the game soft locks itself. So Nightmare Mode doesn't soft lock itself, or rather it does, but I checked the global leaderboards to unsoft lock it. But like as you can see for here, all of these ships and stuff are, not only are they soft locked, but they don't like update. So like for example, this one's used Nova 25 times, used Nova 50 times. What I want to do is basically update it so that those numbers will get, or at least not the rescore ones, but the used Novas will update. So that is in the ship select. And you know, we're just gonna add a little function here. Local function update soft locks. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna copy those in here. But we're gonna take these numbers and we're gonna manipulate them based on the stat manager. So we should be able to do something like, and this might be what you do on the results screen. Let's see, Novas, yeah. So we should be able to get this stat, put in the ship select, and then from there, have all the ships kind of tell you as you unlock them. If I can find the file, jeez. There we go. So what we'll do is, we have to update soft locks. We'll do that. Local num novas is equal to that. And then we'll just subtract them. And then we'll hope that that doesn't somehow break the code. Yeah, it's gonna be just my luck that well, first off, I'm not even putting subtraction anywhere. And then what we'll do is in the load.load function, we'll force them to update the soft locks. I have an error somewhere, that's why it's not cleaning itself up. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's see if I didn't break it. Sorry, I had to drag my window from the hell dimension. Okay, so let's take a look at these, right? So that's a use Nova 25 times, use Nova 50 times. All right, so let's do that. Let's play a game, use our Nova a few times. And then when we use our Nova a few times, theoretically, it should tell us a smaller number, right? Hmm. I didn't know that. I just found. I don't know if you guys saw that. I just found a bug where if you skip the tutorial, it doesn't actually kill the colliders. That's so funny. All right, something to note. There we go. So that's at least one. We'll do it 2 times just to prove that it works. All right. That is 2 Novas destroyed. Or rather, 2 no. Ooh, elephant. One makes you big. Heck yeah. Now you're as big as a meteor. Sick. All right, that was 3. And then we'll let ourselves be victims to the battlefield. We got 2,292. 35 meteors, 3 novas. But when I go back, if this is working, it should tell me I only have to, yeah, see, it used 3 times. So now I only have to use them 3 times. I will say I'm a little worried what happens when it potentially gets into like that negative or something. But we'll add that to the list of testing. All right, we're killing it. I guess I probably should try to update. I guess it's not that big of a deal. So I currently unlock nightmare mode if your global scores are higher than the soft lock. And I've been wondering if I should do the same for the ships. The problem is that like theoretically, because we're cloud saving, you really shouldn't have that issue with the ships. Like unless you you would have to somehow turn off Steam Cloud Save, but not turn off like Steam leaderboards. Which like to me, I'm like, if you're using cloud stuff, you're using cloud stuff, right? Like what are the odds? All right, what else is on this list? Test updates against the demo save file and fix the pop-up highlight selection. So I'm actually going to save the test updates against demo save file for a while, actually. Now that I've decided that a beginner game mode is going to be entered, it doesn't really make sense to do that, right? Like, or at least it doesn't make sense to do that until after it's finished, because then I can introduce it into the demo and I can introduce it into the game itself, the full game. Hey, I'll tell you what, I really didn't feel like the game was that difficult. But looking at the leaderboards and talking to friends, apparently it is. Matter of fact, let's see what leaderboards are looking like right now. So I'm still doing insane, but not that many people have really gotten into this upper echelon. Karma has. Karma's gone to the stratosphere. I have, one of my buddies have. Petty did pretty good. You know, she got at least 10,000. But yeah, like, majority of folks cannot even tap 10,000. I can't see the whole leaderboard just because of how I made the leaderboard structure work. So it's only going to show me the Hall of Fame +1 because I'm in the Hall of Fame. But we can even test when we go to like nightmare mode, right? Because you have to score at least 10,000 in casual to even access nightmare mode. And as you can see, most people haven't done that hot. Although I do think it's kind of funny that Petty's been able to get 8,000 in nightmare and 10,000 in casual. Because normally people Normally, it doesn't translate as well to your score. As you can see, I mean, I'm sure Karma only took one shot at this, but the score of 775 compared to a 320,000 score, or trademark here, 7,765 compared to that 108,000. It's Nightmare mode's much harder. Which, by the way, this isn't my highest Nightmare mode score. It definitely does get way higher than that. I've gotten at least 17,000 in Nightmare. But I do think this beginner game mode is going to help people acclimate a little bit more. I thought people would be able to figure it out faster, if that makes sense. And it's fine that they don't. It's not something that I really considered for myself. I'm pretty good at games. I'm very good at retro games. Some of my favorite games in the world are super difficult. I've said to you guys a bunch of times that The Binding of Isaac has been one of my biggest inspirations for pretty much all my games forever, because it's one of my favorite games ever. And as such, to me, I'm it's all about discovery and figuring things out and just kind of doing whatever you want until it makes sense. But it's not making sense to everyone. So a beginner mode will be made. Fix pop-up highlight selection. Okay, so one, I'm going to stop streaming at 5:30. So we'll see how far we get. But I will be back next week, so don't worry about that. All right. So what this next issue is that, so let's say I go to quit the game. The highlight here is admittedly a little too light sometimes to know that what's happening. So I think I want to make that contrast more contrasty somehow. Maybe even add, so these have a little shadow a lot of the time. So maybe a grow and shadow situation, just to make it a little bit more obvious. So let's look into the pop-up module and see how that guy works. So, part of the reason that programmers use comments is because you don't really ever remember how your code works. And this is the same, because I also don't remember. Blah, 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 blah. Panel background, panel border. So if it's hovering, play the hovered, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, so it's around the rectangle, button times the scale, radius is true. We set the color. So what I'm thinking is that one, we make basically a white background of some kind that goes beneath it. So it's probably something like that. And then we take that scale and then we times 1.2. But that is probably after. So we'll do something like that so it sets the color afterwards, because I think we just want this part to be. Oh, wait, no. No. Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Well, I'm extra talking to myself. Oh, look at that. We got 69 red balloons in the chat. He finally appeared. He's been a ghost. And he's requesting a ghost, too. Is there like a hovered state of some kind? Yeah, there is. If hovered, then and color dot light. 69 red balloons. If you buy 20 copies of COLORNOVA for all your friends, I will in fact put in a heat acclimation Easter egg. All right. I have no clue if any of the logic I wrote even works or makes sense. We shall see. I don't think it's working. Let's make sure this is working. Put a little print statement in there. Okay, well that's not working, which makes sense. What happens if I comment this out? Will it just show up? It's probably, wait, let's go back. Let's try this. Because it's that. That's what we need. Oh, yeah, that's what we need because it's broken. Love the graphics that set colors, color dot white. Is it because I don't have the color library defined in here? Maybe I don't. Let's just set it to regular white and see what happens. Ooh, all right. We are getting somewhere. That is not what we want to happen, but we are getting somewhere. Let's also do like a 0.5. This also should be drawing in layers. I don't really know why it's not drawing in layers. Oh, it is kind of drawing in layers, but something funky's happening. Not 69 red balloons doxing himself. Tell the whole club, buy the game. Fun fact, chat. 69 red balloons is an admin. Or mod, or whatever. So, don't act up, or he just might smite you. XY button scale 1.2, 1.2. I have no clue if this is mathing correctly. Let's put in some parentheses and force the math. Oh wait, no. It was multiplication. Distributive property means that all should work fine. I guess I just don't like how it looks on the width. Maybe I'll change the width to 1.1 scale. That looks a little better. Still really ugly though. Let's do 1.25. Yeah, I like that hover a little better. I still don't know why it's showing up over the actual button though. Because like this should be the... Oh, I see. It's because I set it to this color, then I do that. I need to figure out whatever color was there before. I guess it's body color. Probably, right? Yeah. So something like that. We're getting there. Really ugly, but we're getting there. I have no clue what this code looked like before. Let's look at the version tree. Okay. I didn't add much. Why is color broken? It is true. You will never be as cool as 69 red balloons. I don't make the rules, though. If I made the rules, the world would be different. I gotta look at the full tree. I'm like, what was happening here? Does that make this less ugly? No, it doesn't. Okay. I'm gonna make this even lighter. Let's make it a real hollow. I know I'm guessing, and I literally could just look at whatever I'm doing in these other places, right? Like, I really should just be looking at whatever I do here. I do not explicitly make the rules. I wish I made the rules. I don't know what the stream beat. I don't know if you guys can actually hear the stream beats. I never actually confirmed that, but they just got like kind of intense for a second there. I think I like double turned down stuff, and I have no clue what you guys have been hearing the whole stream. Let's look at main menu. Is hovering. What happens when I'm hovering? Blah, 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 blah. We do the scale. Do the glow. They should do plus 10. All right. Just a little bit. Yeah, okay. No, but it's exactly what I thought, though. We're just 55%, but I guess it's white on white. Maybe that's why it looks less weird. I know it sounds silly, but I feel like making this look less ugly and more presentable, more obvious is actually probably harder than the multiple monitors and the 2 power-ups I made. Just because I'm fighting with this thing to make it less ugly. So I saw that I wasn't doing anything as drastic as, let's do the plus 10. Let's do plus 10. Plus 10. But then I think I saw a plus 4 in there. I don't even remember what I did that for. But let's try that. I broke something. Forgot a comma. There we go. Also have caps lock on. Oh, that's way better already. That looks good. Prop could have that like little tween. Just mean like I feel like it looks more obvious now already. Yeah, let's figure out how I did that tween. What file was that? Main menu? Yeah, okay. We'll just get anim again, do. Right. Do I want to do something that complicated? I don't know if I want to do something that... All right. We're going to steal that. I was in the pop-up file. We're going to drop this function at the top. And then it should just work the same way. We just need to make sure that we're being explicit about whatever we're doing. We're only worried about the scale here, not the globe portion. I do not remember where I just finished. What's the last thing I changed? Oh, right, I'm setting that function. But no, I changed something else. It's in this draw. House and hover, body color. Okay, here. Local active is equal to, we're going to set that equal to false, but if that is, and then active is equal to true. We're just gonna reset I. Is there a delta T component in here? With the delta, I'm so draw. Or is that a draw? Yeah, it was a draw. What is that is top thing? Are we even using that? I don't know what the hell that is. That's gone. So we don't have is top, but we do have delta T, but we also need draw still. So pop up that draw. So I feel like we need a delta T there probably. Anytime we're drawing. If that's the case, then I think we need to add it to the main menu as well. Or not main menu, but I don't... That doesn't work. I'm not passing that correctly. Unless I don't have to do it there. I don't have to do it there. We could just pull it from somewhere else. We could just do pop up. Stop doing that. We're going to get rid of the delta time and this draw. And we'll just force it to use delta time. We'll just have a local current DT. And we'll set it to 0, and then we'll just do the love that update or pop up update. We'll do a current DT is equal to DT. And then we should be able to do get anim current DT. Current DT. And either that works or it's broken and it explodes. Okay, well, looks like we're landing at broken and it explodes. Attempted index button anim. What do you mean? It's right there, bud. Oh, that's true. All right, you did cook me. You did cook me there, game. Okay, how about now? Well, it crashed, but I bet it had nothing to do with that, probably. All right, so it's not really doing it. Well, we work on that. We can work on that. All right, folks. I have been streaming for like an hour and 40 minutes, which is longer than I actually was anticipating. So I think I'm going to call it quits here. But, you know, thank you for stopping in. Thanks for watching this game development stream. Like I said, you guys will catch me again next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't already checked out COLORNOVA, then check it out. What are you possibly waiting for? It's cheap right now. You know, it's going to be a whole $1 more in a few days. That's all I'm saying. And beginner mode is coming, and new power-ups, probably a handful more achievements, and just, you know, some good updates. All right, stuff is coming. Anyways, you know, thanks for watching, and